Hey guys. Okay, so this video is all about how to start your pen tool portrait. So hopefully you've taken your picture and it's either on your phone, or if you need to, you can take it right there on the computer, and I'll show you how to do that. All the computers are equipped with a camera, so you can take your picture from there, which is what I did. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this how to start it. Now when you go to New File, here in Illustrator, you go to new File. You remember to always change it to inches because we don't know what points are. So change it to inches. And I would like this file to either be portrait, which would be 8.5 by 11, 8.5 inches wide and 11 height, or landscape. It depends on your picture and how you've posed and what it looks like. And if you want more guidance, you can ask me on that. So for me, the one I'm going to start doing, I'm going to do it portrait. So I'm going to make sure it's 8.5 by 11, and then I'm going to say create. So then you're going to have your canvas, or your art board is going to be here. And now I want you to place your picture in there. Now, depending on where it's at is where it's going to place from. So I'm going to place it. So I go to File, Place. And I took my picture on this computer, but I put it in, I drug it to the desktop, so it's on the desktop. So I'm going to click on Desktop, and there's my picture. And I'm going to place it. And so it's going to come in like that, and then I'm going to place it. Ooh, it's way too big. I got to take it down. Now, make sure that when you're trying to change the size of it, you hold the Shift key while you pull on that corner so it stays in proportion. Otherwise, it might, see if I just did this, see how we don't want to do that. So edit, undo the scale. I'm going to do it, I'm actually going to make it a little bit bigger. So I want to fit it on that artboard just right. So I still, I see the lines of my artboard, and I want my head in there just right. Yeah, I just took the picture right before I made the video, so it looks just like, it's just what I'm saying I'm wearing and everything. So I'm going to put it right there. Okay, so now it's there. Now I want to pull out my layers palette, because I'm going to do a couple things. For one, I want to make sure this picture's just on that layer. Now, one of the things I think might be a good thing to do is to click on the picture, select the picture, and then take the transparency down in that picture. So up here, so I'm on the selection tool, and in my control bar, there's the word opacity. So I'm going to take the opacity down. You see how that goes down? I don't want to take it so much where I can't see it. If I take it all the way down, you can't see your picture. You want to be able to see your picture, but you want to be able to see the lines that you draw on top of it. So I'm going to take it right there. And then I'm going to lock that layer. So right beside, and if you can't find your layers palette over here, then remember all your palettes are under Window. So go to Window, go down to Layers, and then you'll get this layers palette pop out. Now, the way to lock this layer so it won't move on you is there's an eyeball right here. I'm going to click, that locks that layer. And now I'm going to make a new layer that I'm going to draw my, you got to use your pen tool, but I'm going to make a new layer to start drawing. So right here, there's a little square with the plus. That's my new layer. So now I have a new layer. You see that? I have layer 2. So I'm going to come to my toolbar. You guys can use the pen tool, or you can use the curvature pen tool, and that's fine too. Either one. The thing is, I really want you to be able to make shapes because you're going to fill in. And so I'm going to show you. I'm just going to start showing you. So I'm going to use I think I'll use my curvature since I'm going to go around my head. The curvature is kind of nice because it automatically makes the curves for you, and you don't have to sit there and mess with the curves. Now, when I do this, I want you guys to notice something so that you know you understand what I'm talking about. When I start this, I just want outlines right now because I don't want to fill it in yet. I don't want to fill the color in yet. So I'm going to click. So I'm going to go around my hair. And I'm going to click, because remember I'm using the curve tool, so it will, as I click, it automatically curves. But look what's happening. It's covering all that in with white. I don't want that. I don't want that. I just want an outline. So remember, you've got to look at the fill and stroke squares down here. Remember, that's the fill and stroke, both of these. This one's the fill, this one's the stroke. Well, I only want the outline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this little right here. It swaps to the white, and so it'll go to the outline. And now I want my outline to be black so I can see it better. So I'm going to double click on the stroke, bring that up, click on black, and then say, okay, now I have a black line. So you guys see that? So now I want to come over here, but I want to come straight. I don't want it to curve. And because I'm on the curve tool, it's going to keep curving wherever I click. So I'm going to switch to my pen tool. And you notice when I did that, it's not connected anymore. So I'm going to come to this anchor point. I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to come over here and click. And now I could just use that pen. I don't have to use the curve. If I click and then I drag my mouse, you see how it'll curve. So with the pen tool, if I click and drag, it's going to curl. It's going to curve. So I'm clicking it. But I also don't like the way, and I'm going to show you that here in a minute. By doing that, I don't like what's happening with my line. You do want to close the shape, so you want to make sure you, I'm sitting here pointing, like you could see where I'm pointing at. I want you to close it. So when you come to where you started, do you see the circle? I'm going to bring that up. Can you see the circle on that pen tool? The pen tool doesn't enlarge, just the picture does. But that pen tool will have that little circle at the bottom right-hand corner of that pen tool. That means you're closing your shape, and that's what you want so you can color it in later. So I'm going to click, and now I've closed it. Okay, so I'm going to come up here, and I just want to show you what's happening with this line. Now, see, and I don't like how that came to a point because I used the pen tool. So I could fix that. I'm going to go to the direct selection tool, and I'm going to click on that one right there because it's kind of a point. So up here in my control bar, and you notice, remember I said the control bar changes depending on what tool you're on. I'm going to come up where it says convert, and I'm going to click on this one, which makes that point rounded. I'm just going to click on it, and now it's rounded. And so let me click away so you can see what I'm talking about. See, now it's not a point. It is now rounded right there. This one, do you see what's happening over here? I do not like that. But there's no anchor point right there. My anchor point's up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that anchor point. And when I did that, these handles came out. Well, I'm going to push in that handle. And see when I do that? Now it straightens up that little area that was kind of messed up, bobbled. This one, it's still bobbled. Let me mess with this handle a little bit more. See? Now you see how that did it? Okay? So that's how I do that. And now when I want to color that in with my hair, now I'm going to choose my color. And I'm thinking, and you can make yours any color you want. I kind of suggest you just do it black and white, but you can play with colors too if you want to. But I'm going to make my hair all black. Oops, I hit on the wrong tool. I'm going to click on it again, make it black. You always got to make sure you're on the right tool. Remember the direct selection tool chooses anchor points, and lets you mess with those. The selection tool just selects it for you, and that's when you could change your color and and move it, change the scale. Okay, so there's that. Now, how do I do the rest of this? So I'm going to do these glasses. I might even leave my face just white and then just kind of, because when you're doing a pen tool portrait, you can't, so I said I was going to do my glasses. I'm going to do my, now you see, because I filled it in, I can't see the whole thing. So I'm going to take the color off the fill so I can just see my lines. So I'm going to do my, and now I could switch it, so color it in. And remember, if I want something round, see, I did that with the pen tool, so it's a point, and I don't like the point. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to come up here and curve that. It just looks a little bit better curved. Same way with this one, I'm going to curve that one too. So I'm not going to do my whole face because it just takes too long. I just wanted to get a good start for you guys. So let me do a little bit more, so you really get a good idea of what I'm talking about. There again, it's filling in. I don't want it to fill in. So this is the challenge to you. You can only use the pen tool. No paint brushes, no shapes on this, no pencil tool. You can only use the pen tool. Now you have the choice. You can use the curvature if you want to, but that's it. Just these two are the only ones you can use on this assignment, because it's a challenge. That is really, I really don't like those points. There's another way to smooth all of them out if I wanted to. There's this lasso. So the lasso will select all these points if I want them to. So they selected all those, and you can see the difference. Let me bring that up close. See, these have white in the, so they're not selected. The ones that are white are not selected. The ones that are all in red are selected. And I'm going to round those all. Ooh, I don't like what I did there. That one I want it to be a point, so I'm going to do just the opposite. I'm going to click on that one and click and make it a point. So it's back to a point. I do want these to be rounded though. So let me go ahead and use that lasso and round those. I don't like those being pointy. There. Okay. Now you're going to be working on this. You're going to be outlining. You're going to be filling in. The glasses are kind of tricky because they've got the holes in them. So there's a couple different ways you can do. I probably should have used the, let me use the curve tool on this one, just because the glasses are kind of rounded. Ah, it's filling in again. You don't want too many anchor points, because then it kind of drives you crazy. The curvature doesn't always do what I want it to do. Yeah, you see how it's not, it's curving too much. But I could play with those anchor points later and fix it. But I like the way it makes everything rounded right now. I am going to have to mess with that. Now here's the problem with glasses. Now see, there's the circle, so I've ended it. So here's the problem, and I do got to fix those lines. Here's the problem with glasses. If I fill that in, now you can't see my eyes anymore. So what do I have to do? I have to, there's a couple ways to fix this. One is do it little sections at a time. The other thing I can do is, I'm going to use that again, the curve tool. So watch what I'm going to do here. And then I'm going to cut into it. So if you've got glasses, you can do this. So I'm going to close that. So now that's a shape inside of there. So I've got two shapes. I've got the glasses and I've got the circle. Now, let's say I fill them both in. I'm going to fill, let me fill this in with white. Make it like a white so that I could see it against my black. I'm going to make that one black. So now I've got this white one and I've got that one. So I'm going to click on both of those, Shift and Shift. And then I'm going to go to Object, and I'm going to go Compound Path, and I'm going to make, and see what it did? It took that away for me. So now my glasses, so you could do that. That's something you might want to do. That's actually kind of cool. So that's a cool little thing you can do. And it's a tool. Well, it's not a tool. It is kind of a tool, but it's not cheating. I'm not going to call it cheating because you're still only drawing your objects with a pen tool. Okay. So, and then while you're working, every now and then, I want you to come over to those layers, that layers palette, and I want you to take the eyeball off the background so you could see what you've got and how it looks. See, not too bad. I might still play with these edges. Of course, I'm going to have my glasses coming right here too. So I'm not going to do any more because it's going to take too much time. But hopefully this will get you a good start, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you do.